But she saw it in the mirror last night, just for a second, something pulsing under the raw patch near her collarbone. Like a bubble. Like something trying to breathe.
Hello, and welcome to Fearfull Wickedness. I am your host, the storyteller. We hope you enjoy tonight's tale. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment.
Amanda was always clean. Not just neat or tidy, but sterile. A second-year psych major at Westridge University, she was known by her dorm mates as the girl who carried hand sanitizer in a holster clipped to her belt loop. Long brown hair, washed daily with lavender and oils. Showers twice a day. No exceptions. Amanda didn't hug people. Didn't eat food she hadn't prepared herself. She sat in the back of her classes to avoid breathing anyone's air directly. Her roommates didn't tease her. Not anymore. Not since the day she bleached their doorknobs after one of them came back from a frat party with sticky hands, having spilt their vodka and orange juice. But the night of Kappa Delta's Jungle Jello Jam, Amanda made an exception. It was Grace's idea, her one friend, who had always respected Amanda's rules, but now begged her to just live a little. You don't have to touch anything. Just be there. For me. Amanda stood in the corner of the beer-soaked backyard, clutching a sealed bottle of water, eyes locked on the inflatable kiddie pool in the center of the chaos. It was full of green jello. And people. Drunken, screaming, sweaty people. Wrestling. She winced at the stickiness of the air, how close the bodies were, how the music thumped in her teeth. But she stayed. For Grace. Then someone grabbed her shoulder. Fresh meat, a voice shouted. Let's see what the clean girl's made of. It happened too fast. A group of frat guys grabbed her by the arms and legs like she was a rag doll and hurled her into the pool. She screamed as the jello swallowed her, not closing her mouth quick enough and feeling the slippery texture sliding down her throat as bodies closed in and slime stuck to her hair, her face, in her clothes and underwear. Get off of her. Grace shrieked, shoving her way through the laughing crowd. She hauled Amanda up by the arms, pulling her out of the gelatinous mess. Amanda stumbled, trembling, her eyes wide with panic. I've got you, Grace whispered, wrapping her jacket around Amanda's shivering shoulders. Let's go home. Amanda didn't speak during the walk back. She showered for hours that night. And again in the morning. Her scalp stung. Her skin burned. But she felt mostly clean. Until Tuesday. It started as a red patch on her thigh. Then her neck. She changed soaps. Increased the water temperature. Began bathing 3 times a day. Her loofah bled pink into the tub. By Thursday, her arms were covered in long, peeling strips of skin. She wore long sleeves and stopped going anywhere except to her classes. Her professors started noticing. Are you okay? One asked as she left bloody fingerprints on a Scantron sheet. I'm just washing, Amanda mumbled. Washing it away. Friday, in Psych 203, her blouse stuck to her body. She shifted uncomfortably in her seat. When she stood to leave, a crimson patch had soaked through her back. Gasps echoed. Amanda didn't notice. She was scratching again, her wrists, her chest, her face. Grace knocked on Amanda's door that evening. No answer. Amanda, she called. The dorm was quiet. Grace opened the door and followed the sound of water. The shower was running. Amanda sat curled in the tub, naked, sobbing quietly, her arms wrapped tightly around her knees. The water was ice cold. Steam hadn't filled the room in hours. Amanda, Grace whispered. Blood swirled in the drain. Her skin was raw and streaked red. Her fingernails were torn down to the quick. Her scalp showed in patches between strands of damp brown hair. I can't get it off, Amanda choked out. It's still on me. Inside me. Grace wrapped a towel around her, dialing 911 with shaking fingers. The hospital Amanda was taken to wasn't the kind you think about when you go for a checkup or an outpatient procedure. The room was white. Not the good kind of white, not sterile. It smelled faintly of sweat, rubber gloves, and sadness. Amanda sat on the bed with her hands bound in soft, puffy mittens taped at the wrists. They itched. Her skin crawled. Underneath the bandages, she could feel something festering. Something that needed to come out. She's exhibiting severe compulsive dermatosis, a doctor murmured outside her door. Triggered by trauma and exacerbated by delusional parasitosis. She says something's living under her skin. Amanda stared at the ceiling. She heard every word. Her lips twitched. She knew they didn't believe her. No one did. But she saw it in the mirror last night, just for a second, something pulsing under the raw patch near her collarbone. Like a bubble. Like something trying to breathe. She hadn't touched soap in days. Her skin was weeping. Her scalp oozed. But they wouldn't let her clean. The mittens stayed on, even while she slept. That night, she woke up screaming. Something was crawling under the mittens. A nurse came running. "Amanda? What is it?" She couldn't speak, just held up her hands. The nurse unwrapped the mittens. Her hands were ruined. The fingers, what was left of them, had been chewed, clawed, and scraped down to stubs. The nails were gone. Flesh hung in strips around exposed bone. It looked like she'd tried to dig her way out of her own body. "Oh my God," the nurse whispered. Amanda smiled through cracked lips. "Told you," she rasped. "It's under there. I just have to dig a little deeper." They strapped her arms to the bed, so she could no longer struggle. She didn't blink. She just stared at the ceiling and whispered, "Wash it away. Wash it away." In the weeks that followed, Amanda stopped speaking. Her mouth remained slightly open, as if mid-sentence, but no sound came. Her skin began to harden in places, dry and thick, like tree bark. Nurses said it was psychosomatic, an extreme trauma response. By winter, her mouth and lips were dried out. By spring, her eyes were glassy and milky white, but she still stared at the ceiling. She no longer wore mittens. There was nothing left to protect. Just misshapen stumps wrapped in bandages, the gory remnants of what used to be hands. And beneath her ribs, something moved. Amanda was put into a medically induced coma, and after 6 weeks, she showed no signs of brain activity. The case file was eventually closed. The official report listed it as a rare psychotic break, complicated by OCD and delusional infestation syndrome. However, after her parents demanded an autopsy, Amanda was found to have neurocysticercosis, which is caused by tapeworm larvae. The jello had been contaminated during the mixing phase of the ingredients. Her blood was full of eggs, and her brain and nervous system had hundreds of adult worms feeding and burrowing deeper and deeper. But the nurses talk, especially the ones on the night shift. They say it was something more. Something sinister, and if you stand outside Amanda's room, just before dawn, you can still hear her whispering, "Wash it away, wash it away."